Source energy can be described as love. Light connects all fractals of source, and peace is a natural way of existing in harmony with oneself. However, the universe of Eon is an experiment, where source gets the unique opportunity of experiencing itself in a constant battle between polar opposites. This form of self-discovery is possible thanks to a mathematical and geometrical matrix allowing for matter to form and making illusions seem real. The true and full picture of who you are is almost impossible to grasp on the third density because of the veil of amnesia. This amnesia is a crucial part of the programming and was added for soul growth purposes. On a planet like Terra, things you call suffering, negativity, and evil are parts of the reality that is experienced in many different forms and to various levels of intensity. Even on the fifth density, where the amnesia is a lot weaker, the struggle between various polar opposites is still present. And as you have ascended to the sixth and seventh densities and have access to so much wisdom, you are still experiencing semi-physicality, and consequently love and fear are opposing forces affecting your reality to some degree. We, the Arcturians, have been teaching the law of one on third density planets all across the universe of Eon. Almost 90% of these places are extremely turbulent, with a multitude of challenges experienced by various life forms. The perception of suffering depends on how life on a particular place is being expressed. On an aquatic planet where dolphins are at the top of the food chain, life might be described as very peaceful by humans. But the dolphins will most likely disagree with that observation, since they are having their own experiences of duality. On a planet like Terra, where a humanoid species is the dominant one, peace is harder to reach on an external level. However, Terra is very harmonious in comparison to some planets where the highest evolved species are of reptilian or insectoid origin. Not to mention the level of destruction taking place on planets where aggressive bacteria and microorganisms are at the top of the food chain and constantly battle for survival. Achieving peace is a matter of perspective and connected to how suffering is described. Peace of mind can be achieved by any species anywhere and anytime, and is simply an indicator of spiritual maturity. From our vast experience of third density planets, long-term peace appears hard, if not impossible, to achieve. Peace has yet not prevailed on any third density planet in this universe, but of course it might happen with future expansion. Planetary peace on the third density seems to last for only a short while. To further complicate things, peaceful planets are at high risk of experiencing external galactic influences, disrupting the overall balance. Since we, the Arcturians, are scientists, we must conclude that service to self is the norm on lower densities. This happens to most beings mature enough to be self-aware, but living in deep separation or amnesia. Evidence for this conclusion is plentiful and everywhere for higher density beings to observe. However, this does not imply that source energy to its core has a negative polarity. All are one and love is our essence. We know this beyond doubt. What we mean to say is that balance, harmony, and peace are the fruits of awakening and greater self-realization. In an unawakened state, in a dualistic universe like Aeon, source energy expresses itself in a multitude of ways, and love is not the predominant energy that can be observed on the surface. Especially not if you ask the beings on the third density living without remembering their true essence. Many life forms on a third density planet feel trapped when hearing about this and even consider themselves maltreated or used. These are valid emotions, we understand them and take them seriously. But the main reason for the veil of amnesia existing is simple. If you knew the whole picture, you would never choose service to self as aggressively as you tend to do in amnesia. The third density is a tough school, and by graduating, you are rewarded with knowledge. On the fourth density, you start remembering, and the Law 1 becomes part of your reality. Then you also understand that you yourself have chosen to experience the third density in amnesia, and that you exist simultaneously on many densities. It was your soul's decision to experience life, and you were never forced to incarnate. But please don't fool yourself by thinking that peace is a direct consequence of awakening and that by reaching the fifth density, the negative polarity is automatically removed from your experience. You can graduate from the fourth density also by choosing service to self. This happens all the time, all over Aeon. The negative polarity is always present, and service to self is an option for everybody up until the ninth density. Every day, this decision has to be made on an individual level, and you have free will to change your mind at any given time. We, the Arcturians, do not judge anyone, and free will is sacred to us. However, please remember that it is impossible to reach the ninth density or heaven, to use human terminology, with a negative polarity. But up until that point of final graduation, service to self can be refined and experienced by highly evolved beings of great power and wisdom. This is to prove that wisdom can be used in many different ways. Some expressions are not that peaceful and loving. Many humans think that once you have reached the fifth density, you have arrived at heaven. This is not the case. Your human description of heaven resembles our ninth density. In between incarnations, you visit us on the ninth realm and we discuss and plan new lives together. This is where souls gather and ascended masters live. This is the home of the ninth density collective of Ra. Your human journey, consisting of several lives, has been part of your soul's education. But equally important are your other lives on higher densities and in bodies of other star races. Your journey in this universe ends on the 12th density. That is the highest light realm of this universe, and after graduating from the 12th grade, you continue beyond Aeon. We are giving you this information in a black and white way because the universe is black and white. Mathematics, and geometry is at the core of this creation. We are not creating this universe as we go along. The matrix is already in place and it is very stable at its core. The University of Life has only one purpose, and that is greater self-realization. You are now in fourth density and need to understand the fundamentals of the law of one in order to graduate and enter the fifth. This information is your birthright and is given to all when they have achieved the appropriate level of consciousness. Both the positive and negative polarities need to understand how this universe works. This understanding becomes the foundation for creating peaceful societies, whether they are negatively or positively polarized. TERRA is a turbulent planet, and many people have been dreaming of peace. Humans start wars with the intent of negotiating a favorable peace treaty later. Humans kill others, hoping for an end to brutality. You even sentence people to death, hoping to create kinder societies that way. To us, you are acting in a contradictory and foolish way, but then again, this is repeated on almost all third density planets, and we know the thought patterns behind your actions. Very few people find satisfaction in wars, suffering, and hardship, but the wheel of karma keeps on spinning. The struggle between love and fear is present on many levels in this universe and nowhere as dramatic as on the third density. But that is not to say that we like it, approve of it, or encourage it. Contrary to humans, we know that love is the only thing that truly exists. The whole universe and all matter is all but an illusion. New Age people on TERRA use this expression as well, but few actually believe in it. Evidence of the existence of evil is far too obvious to you, and various forms of matter is all that you have definite proof of. Source energy still remains a great mystery to most on the fourth density. Peace is our ultimate goal, but this universe has never seen long-lasting peace on the densities 3 to 7. There are always conflicts, but they look different as a civilization has ascended into 5D. This is not to say that all species are violent. Some are more violent than others, and species that don't defend themselves tend to become victimized. Therefore, it is important to defend yourself and your societal structures against the opposite polarity. If you don't defend your societies, you are forced to follow others and accept their leadership. Galactic wars do exist, and they are violent indeed. Suffering does not end as you graduate from fourth density because fear is still present and you overcome fear through oneness. Peace of mind is always an option for all. Because of duality, there is a high likelihood for there always being societies choosing service to self instead of service to others. There is really nothing in between that works long term. On the fifth density and above, the positive and negative polarities are separated from each other. With time, whole planets come together and unite in one polarity, and sometimes whole star systems unite under one flag. There are even whole galaxies dedicated to service to others, and obviously other galaxies where the entire structure is negatively polarized. The ratio is 80-20 on an almost constant level in favor of the positive polarity. There are two reasons for the positive polarity appearing stronger. The negative polarity is more destructive, so a 50-50 division would throw the whole universe into chaos. The other reason is that this universe has its own peacekeeping force. They are the warriors of the nine, or Rama Kesh as we call them, and they make sure that the negative polarity doesn't grow too large. Eon is, after all, a school, and we wish the educational experience to be as harmonious as possible, but still leading to soul growth and greater self-realization. We, the Arcturians, have mentored all the great and lost civilizations on Terra, and many of them were of extraterrestrial origin. We have traveled all across the planet, teaching the law of one to high and low. But we have not been able to change the dynamics on Terra, and neither did we expect to be successful. We knew that you will listen to us for real only once you have reached a fourth density consciousness. That day has now arrived, and we are here for you if you need us. However, our previous teaching work on Terra was not done in vain. We have studied your societies and documented your lives. Your true history can be found within the records of our portal of Sol Terra 1 located in today's Indonesia. Peace on a third density planet is almost impossible to reach. However, peace in this universe is our highest priority, and the Ramakesh is our most powerful tool of upholding universal balance between the two main polarities of service to self and service to others. In the next chapter, we will explain how this universal peacekeeping force functions and how it is structured. Until then, rise, starseeds of Terra, rise to your new golden age.